Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. Oh, goodness. Welcome to Your View. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Good morning, guys.
Hello.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was very eventful.
Oh.
I finally got the rest that I needed to get on Saturday, so I slept all day Saturday. I was very relaxed. I was more sociable, able to see neighbors and friends. But then again, I got another brief for a bigger event over the weekend.
Hey, Jumoke, I'm going to become your assistant.
I'm back to work. The second thing I was going to say was that for the second time this year, I patronized Tope's husband, and I'm a very, very satisfied customer. His ministry, he's such that he's doing the right things in that ministry, and you know he has brought the kingdom of God down to that ministry.
My husband said she was calling to say thank you.
Yes, I was very satisfied with his work.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Good.
I feel good.
All right. Hi, Tope. How are you?
I'm good. Weekend started on a good note. I had an unexpected job. Sanzi's cousin was getting married, and
But the one that came the other day?
No. She came. The lady came for this wedding, you know.
Okay.
So, and I posted a picture of her before and after. And people were like, makeup artists, people are deceptive people. Oh, so the way she's looking before and now she's looking after. And I said, well, the truth is she's beautiful both before and after. But one major concern for me over the weekend, and I complained about it within the week, was that is the road. The Lagos, please, Lagos. Don't shut me up. Two cars I noticed had their legs pulled out, and you see that
legs
stuff,
or their wheels?
The tires were pulled out, and this was a small pothole before, and we watched it to get this big.
To add to that,
the rainy season.
Even when the trailers are trying to make a U-turn, I was delayed. I think when we were traveling, coming back from Ife, a truck got into the hole and couldn't get out. They had to now look for a tow truck to pull it out, and that took forever.
Please, Lagos State government. That U-turn was crazy. This is beyond. We can't wait for the federal government. It might be federal government, but this is a road that Lagos State residents ply, and we pay our taxes. Can we please fix it?
The more it rains,
I saw a picture over the weekend that Jumoke posted on her Instagram page that had a lot of litters.
Because of the rain.
Now, see what we're saying, Jumoke. I mean, Mariah, it's beyond saying that they should fix the roads. We are going to experience a lot of issues if we don't clear out our drainages. We need to clear. We don't have to wait for sanitation on Saturday to clear out our drainages.
Once it rains, everything just comes out.
It's really bad.
The one I'm talking about is
no, I'm saying outside. It's a different issue. I'm saying outside that. Because there are no drainage. I mean, there are no functional drainages anymore.
The friends of mine commented on that picture and were saying that if the government would only construct storm drainages, and I'm like, they can't construct storm drainages in every street. My street this week was getting flooded because people are throwing plastic bottles inside the gutter. We need to do our part. We are also part of the government.
Absolutely. Anyways,
how was your weekend?
Yeah, I went to Ife. Family, have friends from the US. They came around. It's really fun to be family, wedding, road trip. It was really cool having a conversation with everybody. Yeah, it was nice. We drove back home yesterday. The twins, I didn't go with the nannies. Okay. So it was somewhat stressful. So I had to do all the book by myself. But it was nice. It was good to have that bonding time. But then we slept in the hotel because there were just too many people there. But it was good. It was nice to be with family.
My sister was so in love with your kids when she saw them on FaceTime.
Yeah.
They're so cute. So I told her you're going to send that video of them fighting.
All right, that's all we can take on this banter. When we return, we'll go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Oops, my pen. Right. Let's start with The Nation. First Lady, don't pay any money to see president. You can see the picture of our first, very pretty woman. No?
Very beautiful.
With our first lady, our second lady, or what they call the vice president's wife. Beautiful women. Tinubu insisted I should join Buhari's campaign. Let me read her quote here. I would like to inform you that in the past regime, if you wanted to see First Lady, you pay $30,000 or $50,000. And if you're seeing the president, you will pay all that you have gathered in your lifetime. This will not happen in our regime. Interesting. BPE, that's the Bureau of Public Enterprise, in 1.45 billion naira scam. Buhari considers balance in SGF choice. $20 million boost for anti-Boko Haram war. And anguish as family loses 3 kids in Lagos fire. I didn't read that story.
I read that story. It's a very, very sad story. The father, he had 3 children. The wife had put to bed another baby. So he lit the candle in the room and locked the children. He shut the door and left to go and see the mother around that 10 p.m. or so, to go and see the mother that just had a baby. And he left the 3 children. Yeah. Oh, you see, these are unavoidable. I mean, they are avoidable rather, this kind of incidents, because you're leaving the house, they're going to sleep, the children. You should have just turned off everything and let them go to bed, even in the darkness, you know, instead of lighting the candle.
It's possible he probably instructed them to turn off the
candle. You cannot have, because I think the oldest is a 9-year-old or something.
That's where I want to go to.
I mean, you can't take that kind of a risk.
In developed countries, you do not leave less than 13-year-old children alone without adult monitoring. You shouldn't. So you now leave 3 children under the care of a 9-year-old with a candle at night in a closed room. You see, there's too many booby traps, and I think this is a lesson for us all. My heart goes out to the husband and the wife and the new baby, because it's a really sad story. But we must learn from this. We've had too many fires from lit candles. So candles are not your friend. Yes, they're no power, but candles are not your friend. And don't leave children without help, adult care.
Even if there's an adult there, it's late. Just go to sleep. Very soon, we are hopeful that the new government will fix the electricity, because this is also linked to the fact that we don't have power in our country. You know, but I mean, you shouldn't even take that risk. Candles should be banned completely.
You know, actually, somebody told me there was a time that we had power issues. Someone said, hey, let's go and buy candles. Like, do they still sell candles? I mean, I thought that the regime of candles had actually gone. I didn't know they still have candles.
Yes, now with rechargeable lanterns. Why do you buy candles?
Even torchlights will do the job for you. You can charge it.
My brother-in-law went to charter lanterns, different colors.
I have about 6
green, he has yellow. Lamps. No, not this. The lantern that we used to use with kerosene. Oh. He has green, he has yellow. So every child has their color. This one has red, this one has blue. I'm telling you, he chartered it. When he was spending, what's it called, hundreds of thousands on diesel. What would you do?
Moving on to Vanguard. It's a picture. Hey, you see our Arewa, what's her name? First ladies wear, and this Abike Dabiri looking all the women, all these Parakwa levels, all of them.
They should have invited us.
But we went to one now, what Parakwa level? But this one,
they didn't call us for this one. That was when they were campaigning. They invited us for campaign.
Parakwa level. Some of them there. Okay, let's take the headlines. Why states can't pay workers' salaries? Aregbesola Omisore trade words over Osun debts. NLC sends SOS to President Buhari. ICC, court orders arrest of Sudanese president in South Africa. Buhari to African leaders. My efforts to stop Boko Haram. Don't take or give bribes, Aisha Buhari tells president's men. Speakership. I won through divine intervention. Who said that? Please, I didn't read something.
I want to talk about
Saraki
this.
said that. Who said
no. Speakership is House of Rep. That's Dogara. But I read the story about the states not paying salaries, and for me, because we've been talking about these things last week, and I kept saying that Aregbesola, that Osun State isn't the only state owing, because we listed 18 states actually are owing their staff salary up to 11 months. The shocking part was Akwa Ibom was also listed, and I know Akwa Ibom is an oil-rich state, earning probably the highest earning from derivative structure.
From the
allocations, and I'm surprised that they are also still owing salaries. Most especially, the investigation by Vanguard discovered that some of these states are actually paying political office holders, but not paying the workers. For me, that is very, very bad. It should prosecute that. You shouldn't pay yourselves and not pay the workers that depend on this money every day. Now, Aregbesola and Omisore trading words concerning, which was on the headline, stated that Omisore was telling Aregbesola that if he cannot handle the finances of the state, resign. They should. Why?
And then Aregbesola replied him and said that he said it in Yoruba. I didn't understand the Yoruba, but he meant that you are not competent enough to take over. So go and sit down somewhere. I know your past. You're not in the position to be telling me to resign.
My question to Aregbesola is that for 7 months that the people have not collected salaries.
Did he collect his own salaries?
Yes. Has he been collecting his
No,
own
but
salary?
if any political office holder pays themselves and did not pay the staff, they should actually be. I'm totally supporting
That's my
prosecuting
only
them.
question. If they can answer me, then
Vanguard even has a list. Abia State is 8 months. Akwa Ibom is just a month. So don't say Akwa, just 1 month. All that drama, all that speaking. I thought it was
Don't
something like
mind
11.
Joe.
Akwa Ibom is only 1 month salary there.
Imo is 11
Bauchi
months.
is 3 months. Benue is 5 months. Ekiti is 2 months. Imo is 11 months. Kogi is 1 month. Ogun is 8 months. Ondo is 2 months. Osun is 7 months. Oyo 4 months. Rivers 3 months. Okay, so some of them
Even if it's 1 month, Murayo, I don't think it should be overlooked. Salary is an important thing. Even the Bible says that the laborer is worthy of his pay.
Yes, so moving on to Daily Sun. I think our first lady and her deputy, and the second lady, and
they are breaking the record.
They are the ones that are taking up all our front pages today. See, you're so pretty though. I never knew she was this pretty. Those are her daughters
See
here.
potentials. They are prospects.
Buhari's, I think that's her daughter. I'm not sure that's her daughter. But let's get the headline. Keep off Buhari, wife warns sycophants.
We need to talk about that.
Ekweremadu not substitute for Igbo's SGF slot. Southeast Coalition says that. Buhari to AU leaders, Africa under siege, orders release of $21 million to JTF. All right, let's talk about this.
Buhari.
Okay, so she was saying that to see Patience Jonathan, people had to pay $30,000 to $50,000 and a lot more to see her husband, the ex-president. And she's saying that those people should stay away from her husband because it's only people who are ready to serve the masses, not the person of Buhari, who should surround them and not sycophants.
Yes.
In her words, it is the people that are around him that will determine the political health of our states.
And
so
she also added that it took them 12 years to get to where they are. So he's been running. So he's here to come and serve, not to come and chopulate.
And he also mentioned, she also mentioned that anybody, if anybody is asking you for money, the person is duping you. So don't pay anybody, you know. And I'm shocked that people actually were paying $50,000 in dollars to see the first lady and to see the president. In such cases, you know, whatever contract they get, they were not going to they're not going to do it. They should be prosecuted. I was saying that nobody should investigate.
No, but they've gone with
but
the
we
past.
need to.
Let them
we shouldn't investigate them.
I beg.
Okay.
Moving on to this day. Buhari speaks to Arise TV on new cabinet, Saraki others. Discos negotiates hike in electricity tariffs with customers. And Axis Bank presents his most valuable player during the polo games, I believe. And ITO clarifies oil swap, offshore processing agreement with NNPC. Conflicting reports on whereabouts of al-Bashir as court bans him from departing South Africa. Who read this al-Bashir?
I read that story.
I read it too.
What they're saying is that since the International Criminal Court is demanding that South Africans should please arrest him, you know, because he's wanted, you know, to answer his issues. The South African government now wrote that they have a duty to grant immunity to anybody that is coming to attend because he attended the African Union meeting. So they are saying that they have an agreement that they grant immunity to whoever is coming to their country. So I'm sure they cannot arrest the guy on their behalf.
My worry is that this is a man, that's the Sudanese president, Omar al-Bashir, has been, he was, in his country, there were a lot of war crimes. And he's come to Nigeria and he's gone to South Africa. And both occasions, they're allowing him to walk free. We mustn't, because they're presidents, it's as if Africa condones these things. We do not prosecute these people. And that's the same thing we're going to talk about later on the show anyway.
I agree. Mariah, international law should supersede whatever domestic laws that you have.
You think?
Yes. And they signed to it. Yes. They signed to the treaty.
That law about the immunity is not a local...
If you are signatory to the international conventions and treaties, all international law must supersede. In fact, you must domesticate international law within your country. So an international criminal can be arrested anywhere.
Should be able to be arrested
anywhere.
anywhere.
Moving on to The Guardian and our last paper for this morning. Once again, pictures of the first, second, and third ladies of our country. The wives of the first, second, and third citizens of our country. Let's see. Eminent Nigerians rally behind big war against cancer initiative. About 4.44 billion naira needed for mobile treatment center nationwide. Anxiety in APC groups over presidential appointments. Naiti urges reforms in oil gas sector wants due process in award of oil blocks. South African judge orders Sudan's leader detained.
That's all.
And Nigeria on alert over Middle East respiratory syndrome. All right, this big war against cancer. Who read it?
I read that story about the war against cancer. We have prominent people, like they mentioned. Part of them, amongst them is Professor Oshibanjo, the Vice President. Ambode is also there. They have a lot of people. Patotomi is there. And they're saying that a lot of cancer cases, most of them are, like 1/3 of them are preventable. And some of them are manageable, that you can leave even while you have, you know, but you know, it's an expensive, you know, it's an expensive venture. So they are trying to see, Professor Oshibanjo has said that he's going to use the powers, you know, that he has as the vice president to see how they can, because they mentioned the figure, but I'm not sure of how many people died. I think 8 million people died in 2014
You know,
as a result of cancer.
I told you about a lady that was my former colleague that went through operation. She died on Saturday.
Oh, sorry about that.
So
They're trying to raise 120 million naira per mobile cancer treatment vehicle. And what I think they need to buy about 37 for each state.
Yeah.
All right. I'm impressed with this move. You see, we need to take politics and use that opportunity, that platform to do good. Well, we had a guest on cancer last year. I don't know, I can't remember his name. The person that was doing free tests, and he said that most of the time,
Dr. Laleye
said that the treatment rate in Nigeria within the country, people die from cancer within the country that could have been treated abroad because we don't have sufficient healthcare facilities to treat them.
But
so this is
good. The issue, however, is that the ideas are always fantastic. Implementation is a whole nother cut of it. So let us, as we are optimistic, let's just hope that when they finally raise the money, we actually do see these vehicles running around. All right.
That's the most important thing, yeah.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, still to come, Amnesty International is on Hot Topics. And don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Global human rights organization Amnesty International has called for the immediate investigation of top past and present military commanders for possible war crimes and crimes against humanity committed by the Nigerian military in its fight against Boko Haram. However, the Nigerian military has denied the allegations, saying that Amnesty International wants to demoralize their efforts at curbing the activities of Boko Haram. What are your thoughts on this? It's your view. You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. All right. So we've been hearing various reports concerning Amnesty International. And now that we have a new regime, more information is still coming out. And all this, the international community is now trying to help us out, even though they had made those allegations that, oh, we don't want to help you out because of this same human rights issue. What are your thoughts on this information going around circulating?
Let me establish that Amnesty International, in a report tagged "Stars on their shoulders, blood in their hands," said that military top officials sitting in Abuja are liable to the crime of what they call when people are human rights abuses. Because, let me give you a scenario. Boko Haram comes into Makurdi or Yobe, and then the military comes in a few hours later and just round up people and pack them and put in detention centers until you can prove that you're not a criminal. Now, they're saying that that's against their human rights. That some of them, for instance, are innocent, and then you, for instance, put 300 people in a small cell. You don't give them water, they have to drink their urine. That all of these things, even if they're criminals, is against their human rights. Now, the Nigerian military is saying that you're not encouraging these fights against Boko Haram, you know, by coming up with this report. Because what Amnesty International did was to submit that report to the ICC, saying, pick up these men for war crimes.
But you know, one thing that baffles me is that the way an American or the international community fight crimes is totally different with the way other countries could. The reason why I say that is, what is normal and legal within their own community is different from what we think is acceptable, because crimes are different. In our country, it's possible that they don't understand our system. I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. It's possible that they assume that, oh, you go around these people all because they're innocent people. But to the military, they're like, these guys may be innocent, but they actually are as guilty as the Boko Haram people.
They round off people as young as 9. Now I know they've used 9-year-olds. They've used some child bombers, some children as suicide bombers. However, the thing is, you keep people, a government-owned organization, keep people, and we have a rate of 7,000 dying out of 20,000 people. There is no justification. If they decide to be crazy, Boko Haram are a bunch of crazy people, inhuman, godless, like our president described them. Do you, as a uniform-wearing official of a country, join them in acting that way? Some of these attacks, according to the report from Amnesty International, are reprisal. When they notice that the attacks come, immediately they see that Boko Haram has successfully attacked the military base. Then the military would go and just round a set of people in a reprisal kind of, let's deal with them, sort of.
But our military has actually been able to,
that the government
defeat some of these Boko Haram people.
I know. I'm happy they're defeating them. My concern is that the previous government didn't even acknowledge that there's some things going wrong. Currently, the spokesperson for the military, that's Olukolade, isn't even acknowledging that something wrong is going on. When you have 7,000 people die out of 20,000, there is something wrong. You don't give excuses.
That we, the people, are just demanding results regardless of how you find
excuses.
The results.
You should actually check it out.
Also 1,200 unlawfully killed since February 2012. There are 7,000 dying in detention. What
How do they come up with these figures? How do they know these numbers?
They did their investigation.
They said they had insiders' information as well.
They did their investigation.
They did their investigations. But let me also play the agent provocateur in this issue. Now, Amnesty International, they are trying to protect the rights of every human being to live.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who the person is.
Yes.
But you see, before you bring out such conclusions and you bring a research and tell us that, okay, our military should be indicted, can we pause a little bit? Because this war has become an unconventional war.
True.
You know, the state of our military, do we know how they are being catered for? Do we know what they go through? Abroad, all these people that go to fight wars in Iraq and the military, they have special care that they give them. The government takes good care of them. There's a huge role that corruption has played in this Boko Haram issue. You are talking about putting 7,000 people in a small place. Do they even have the facility?
No, they don't.
To keep those people.
No,
so before you, hold on, let me finish. Before you bring such conclusions and deductions, you should also look at what the military they're going through.
Okay, I hear you.
I'd like to say something.
I'll let you talk. But is it possible that these reports are a bit overestimated?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm thinking is that a prison in the US, for example, is like London for us here. Because if you go to Kirikiri or Panti, it's a totally different ballgame. So if Amnesty International goes to Kirikiri now, they are likely to do a report. So you know what? These people have been held down in poor conditions. So is it possible that they are only over-exaggerating this matter?
And I think what they should focus on is the state of our prisons, the state of all the other things, before they cannot come up and say that, okay, people are being ill-treated.
Let me pause you for a second. I have Adewale. Okay. All right? Adewale, are you there?
Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Last year, I think April or May, I think some picture and some video posted online about Nigerian military slaughtering Boko Haram.
Yeah.
You can remember that video very well.
Yes.
It's the part of the report.
Yes.
I think let's talk about our own environment here, especially the police. The way they treat suspects, not criminal now. For this Boko Haram we are talking about, they are still a suspect until court finds them guilty.
Yes.
To call them a criminal.
Yes.
But in our own environment, we treat suspect as a criminal. What is happening? And if you went to the Borno state, you will see the way people are being killed every day. We know the way our soldiers behave in our environment. If anything, something small happens to one of their members, the anger
go on rampage.
Come today, they will just go on rampage. And the international community will not allow that. God bless Nigeria.
Okay. So the problem might not be the military, it's probably a Nigerian factor.
I want to make a point. You see, the case was not brought against us as a country. It was brought against the leaders, the leaders of the military, the chief of staff, Ihejirika, all the chief of naval staff, that they under their watch with reports, their official reports from the base, the base are like Borno and Maiduguri, stating that people are dying from the environment we're keeping them in detention, and that they should send money and facilities to revamp facilities. They did not act on it. So they're being prosecuted for the fact that they were they knew about this and they didn't do anything about it.
All right, let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? I think that's Yakub, I believe.
Yeah, good morning.
Yakub, how are you?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me clear.
No, we can't.
Hello?
It's a bit windy,
Can you
yeah.
hear me clear?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. You see, if I totally agree with Adewale, but I quite differ a little bit. I go with who at this morning. You see, this war that we are fighting, it is not a war that you can know your enemy. This enemy, when they attack you, and then they destroy within you. So how do you want to differentiate between the real people and the Boko Haram?
That's not an
Yakub,
excuse.
if it is your cousin that was caught up,
Hello? Can you
if your
hear me?
cousin,
One
Yakub,
second. Let him make his point.
Let me land. Let me land. Can I talk? See, this ICC of a thing. You can imagine what happened to Netanyahu of Israel. If ICC come out today, or Amnesty International, are they doing anything to Netanyahu of Israel? They can also bring the same report. If you know Netanyahu killed a lot of people in Israel, up to today, nothing happened to Netanyahu of Israel. Are you getting me now? Why Nigeria? The only thing Nigeria can do is that they should make sure they take this report up and then do their investigation very well. If people behind that, and then go ahead and indict them.
Okay, thank you so much.
I may agree with his last point, which is the investigative part. Yes. Don't throw it away. But I'll give 3 instances. You remember when the Nigerian military attacked an uncompleted building in Abuja, saying that they were Boko Haram members. We finally found out that those guys were actually bike riders. Now, if one life, just one, is killed by the military of an innocent man, they failed. It's not to say that we don't make errors, but investigate the matter so it doesn't happen again. Don't tell me that, hold on, don't tell me that how do I know
who is
a boy in Maiduguri lost his father to Boko Haram, and then the Nigerian military come and carry him away and say suspect because of what is happening in his house. It's unfair.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you, but we also have to look at both sides. I'm going to bring in our guest very soon now, because all of us are praising Obasanjo. That when this happened, he totally leveled.
I don't praise him.
No. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, GJ is not like Obasanjo."
I condemned Obasanjo for the massacre, where a military man was killed and he went into that town and wiped it out.
Yes.
The Amnesty also had cases like that against Nigeria. Our military have been getting away under civilian regime with all these kind of crimes against humanity.
I have to say something, please. You see, the truth is that in terms of war, the most innocent looking people are the most lethal people.
Yes.
You cannot
that's not an excuse.
It's not an issue of excuse. What I am saying, if you are bringing a report based on how people are being treated and all that, did we not see videos of Boko Haram slaughtering
it doesn't justify it.
Nobody's justifying anything. We are trying to see things from different angles here. You shouldn't just wake up and say that the military should be indicted.
So as we were talking before, crimes under international law and serious human rights violations and abuses were committed by both sides in the conflict between the Nigerian military and the armed group Boko Haram, which is still ongoing. Now, joining us to shed more light on this is a security consultant, Richard Amua. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
So you've been hearing the ladies talk on this issue.
Yeah.
They're both sides. Some saying the military had to do what they had to do. Yeah. Some saying, well, they should be investigated. What are your thoughts on this?
Quickly, let me give you the background of Amnesty International for you guys to understand what Amnesty is actually doing. Amnesty have over 7 million members and supporters around the world. Their objective is to conduct research and generate action to prevent and to end grave abuse of human rights, to also demand justice for those whose rights have been violated. And it focuses on the release of prisoners of conscience. They use media attention, direct appeal campaign, research and lobbying to get their objectives. They work to mobilize public opinion to put pressure on government that let abuse take place in their country.
That's all.
In 1977, they were awarded Nobel Prize, Peace Prize.
That's all.
Nobel Peace
Where
Prize.
were they when they burnt
No. I see,
to death?
see.
Oh, thank you.
Where were they when they burnt Alufo? Where were they when Kirikiri Street? Where are they?
Hold on. When I was called, I'm going to be guessing today. I quickly called a whole lot of my friends in the, and sincerely, everybody was just like you guys were arguing. But for me, I'm going to be very objective. The point here is that today we have over 50 close military officers who are in detention that have been condemned to death.
Yes.
Like he said, Jumoke said, in Abuja, a whole lot of people were killed and they said they're Boko Haram. What these guys have, you see, how did they get their information?
Exactly.
They got their information from people in that area.
Okay.
Today, after the 6-week break, we thought that Boko Haram has gone because of Sambisa have been combed. Where are they coming from? So are you telling me the whole Northerners are Boko Haram? No. What we're saying is that once they arrest these people, then how many Boko Haram people are in detention right now as we're talking? How many of them? Where are we getting information from? I keep saying the only way we can end Boko Haram is to do what? To get their financial and their source of weapon. Up to now, we're not getting it. For over 2 weeks now, Muhammadu Buhari has been going everywhere because of what? Security. Yes. What I'm trying to say is that they heard him say that his government is going to what? Investigate any. So that's why they quickly came and gave him the report. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that the chief of staff, they are guilty or not guilty. But the point is that if you think you are not guilty, why submit yourself for investigation?
All right,
yes.
Let's take some tweets.
Submit yourself for investigation.
There are lots of people that want to comment on this. Let's take like 5 each. Do you have enough?
Simi Oluwa Daramola says, there are many times the military and police have trampled on our rights. Remember the Alu killings. Trelon says, the Nigerian army reacted to the Amnesty report is how a guilty person will react. Etiremi says, Amnesty International have valid claims. Nigerian military is not the first to be accused of such. It should be investigated.
Let me
Simple.
jump to then 3.
Having lost an in-law to an in-law to the Boko Haram program, I completely share the views of Jumoke Tokwe. Keep it up, ladies. Peck Media says, my prayer for my country is peace and comfort. His Grace Toba says, I agree with Amnesty International completely. Nigeria military should be charged for war crimes. Right. Mosi says, you guys are missing the point. They did not indict our military. Rather, they said they should be investigated. Exactly. Impunity is what they are after.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can I say something, Mariah?
You will not retweet
now. You've read a lot I wanted to read. The thing is, I'm not saying that Amnesty's issues should not be investigated. Now, you mentioned something which I want to bring to our attention. When the military revolted against their commander, because they didn't have weapons and they killed them while they went to attack the Boko Haram, where was Amnesty International? Okay. Don't the military also have the right to leave? That is the point I'm trying to make.
Let me tell you.
Okay, I'll let you respond to that, but let me take Oyin's call. Good morning, Oyin. Are you there?
Oyin. Good morning, Mariah. Good morning, ladies in the house.
Sorry. Go ahead. No, internationally, nowhere in the world you see military protesting. It started somewhere in Ondo State, the first time they protested, and Falono came up for them and defended them, and what's his name? Our former president, Jonathan granted amnesty and kind of. It's not done. If once you are in the war front, you are there. In fact, you can be charged as a cowardice. You can be charged for running away. No, let me tell you.
Has the American government
American government ever sent their military outside to war without equipping them? There's a big of corruption.
Let me see. We know there's corruption. But we're saying, once I signed, listen, once we signed to be an army officer, you.
Sir, can I respond?
Even without weapons, even without weapons.
The American military were also arrested for crimes against humanity at the Guantanamo Bay. Do you remember that story?
I know
they also arrested the Americans who were violating women in Iraq and Afghanistan. They don't allow equality in their military.
That is not the question. Have they ever sent their military out without weapons?
No. Let me take this call. Good morning, Adewale. Are you there?
Olawale, please.
Olawale, please go ahead.
Yeah. You wasted my credit for 10 minutes. Nevertheless, God bless you, Morayo. Let's quickly establish 2 hypotheses. Every rumor is a source of information.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every allegation has element of truth. I'm happy about the consultants you called. These people are well organized. They have credible source of information. So if there is no element of truth in the allegation against Nigerian military, they will not come out. And I'm very happy our president said he was going to investigate.
That's
all. Our military, they are very, very, I apologize for this word I want to use. They are a bit crude. Okay? Yeah. You mentioned what happened in Abuja. You are in Lagos here with me. You know what happened when just one of them was crushed by BRT and they went on rampage and killing everybody, maiming everybody. But let us once and for all investigate.
All right, I hear you. Thank you so much. But is it possible that this is not a military issue, it's a Nigerian factor? Because even if your houseboy should steal today, you go and rally the entire family and drum them in the police station saying that, oh, until you produce this amount of money. It's our mentality. It's not so much of the military. So we should fix our system issue. It's not so much.
That's why we should allow this government to investigate this. Because it's rampant. Nigerians feel that, we don't have rights.
So we take law into our hands.
Guys, this is not happening to us. That's why we could say this. If you are there and happen to you, you will know that you cry louder than this Amnesty guys.
Can I say something you just said now?
Yes.
Because I have a lot of people living in Yobe State.
Okay.
In Adamawa State. I am also from the north.
Okay.
And listen, you have not been through war. I have been through war. The military, they are never there. They're never cowards. They always come to rescue people.
I have a call from
Kaduna.
I have a long distance call from Kaduna. Good morning, Abdurrahman. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
I don't want to lose this call. Go ahead, please.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I want to talk about the impunity the military engaging in northern Nigeria especially. I respect your views, but the lady is talking about saying military have their hands tied are wrong. Even if they have their hands tied, they cannot trample on the rights of citizens.
Thank you.
Like your security analyst also said, he said they should be investigated.
That's all.
Investigated, that's the key word. Why are they so afraid?
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about the incidents of Boko Haram when it started. Back then, the first case that Al Jazeera reported, they were gunning down people on the street, crippled. Now tell me, isn't that a war crime? Isn't that impunity?
Absolutely.
All we're saying is that, like, for example, like, I'm walking in the street. I happen to live in Borno. Then Boko Haram attack. Then the next thing I will be hearing, the police or soldiers will come around me up, just like that.
Can you imagine?
Isn't it supposed to be innocent before?
I like that scenario, Abdurrahman. But the truth is,
before proven guilty.
Yes. Exactly.
I think that's supposed to be the key. And where there is smoke, there is always fire.
Why
are you so afraid? That's my question. And the issue of our army not being supplied enough, that's an entirely different issue.
Exactly.
Totally agree with you.
The government and the
I'm so sorry about that.
This man.
I totally agree with him. However, in our country, where it's hard for you to actually trace anybody to their source, to know how abroad your movies, where you can know, okay, this one is the father's father is a Boko Haram, they were born here, they went to school here, they went to Afghanistan, so you can trace them. Here, all you know is that this is the area, this is the sector of where they live in. So you gather them up. It is possible where we don't have that information to trace, to investigate. How would you now know who is Boko Haram?
That is why they should be treated as innocent until proven guilty.
How do you prove they're guilty?
That is why you don't let them die before you can get the research information they have. Let me just say something.
How do you prove guilty?
We haven't been able to solve this problem because we do not do thorough investigation. We let them die. Now, if you hold them well, treat them well, get them to confess. When you treat them humanely, they would confess.
Do you know
how much goes there every year?
I want to ask you guys a question. Do you have any journalists from any media house in the front wall?
Nobody's there.
Nobody, sir.
That's
God
the point.
bless you.
So nobody can even
dispute here.
We have issues in this country when it comes to security. And I keep saying it. We need to start from beginning when we talk about security. You mentioned that in Nigeria, today we don't have data.
See, when this allegation came up, the first response we got from the military, from the spokesperson, was that Amnesty International was speaking on the military, was not encouraging them, and was just generating lies to make military look bad. For me, that statement proves guilt from the first word. Okay. Because if you know that this person has said something and you're not guilty about it, just say, come and check me out. I have nothing to hide.
Let me take Onye's call. Onye, are you there?
Yes, Onye. This is Onye calling from Sulu.
Onye, please go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is your first caller.
Yay! Welcome to the show.
I like the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have something to contribute for the.
Go ahead, please.
Distance. Nigerian police and the army, we have a problem for those people, because coming from like Greek prison, when somebody does bad thing or good thing, police will just arrest somebody like that and go and put the person inside a prison without judgment, without anything.
Can you imagine?
Now, like every Friday of the week, we see somebody that the police people will what are released,
Okay.
and we without anything.
Okay.
Now they hold this army people hold how many suspects without any investigation of something,
Yes.
and put those people on prison. Okay. I don't see the reason why those people will just hold these people.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me come to our guests.
We have
tweets. I'll take them tweets, but we use the same word. Everybody has agreed on the word investigation.
Yes.
That they should be investigated. How do we investigate? I'll let you answer that, but let me take some tweets first.
Okay.
Adeleke Ademola says, our military army is too powerful. No one is checking on them. Let Amnesty International check on them. Veronica Oshosowo says, the military always overdo things, taking laws into their hands. They must be investigated.
Kindness Onitiri says, these military men are people like us. When a military man goes beyond his limits, he should be punished. We're all scared of them.
So how do we investigate?
So first of all, they're going to, the military themselves are going to investigate.
Yes.
Then the what's it called? The Attorney General of the Federation will form a committee to investigate. Then look at the two of them together. Yeah. Because once you are found guilty, you're going to be sent to the international court to be tried. But what I'm saying, for once, let this country have peace when it comes to the issue of human rights. Human rights have been abused every time, every day, and nothing is being done. You see, I'm not saying I'm not saying what the Amnesty International have said is right or wrong, but let's go and listen to them. Exactly. If you've been called upon that you have abused, go and, it's like they say you embezzle money. You now go to court, you say, no, you don't want court to try you. I said, since you didn't embezzle money, why are you going to court? The truth of the matter is that Nigerians want to move forward. Sincerely, I know, like I said, all my friends, everybody, just like we are divided here, that's how we're divided about this issue. But the point here is that even the military, they are human. But as much that they are human, see, if you are in the war front and you are shooting, and behind you, I'm watching your back, then the other person is watching my back. But the point we're saying here is that so many innocent people were killed.
Okay. True. All right, go on.
Now, I went to a police station and I saw the state of the way the police station is. This issue is deeper than what Amnesty International has brought up, and that is the point I'm trying to make. Okay. Hold on, let me finish, okay. The state of our nation as a whole, both our armed forces, they're not even equipped enough. So what we should look for is a deeper data. No,
it's beyond.
It is beyond saying. It is beyond saying no.
You're repeating yourself.
Hold on. It is beyond saying that they lost. They cluster people and people. When you leave people, of course,
they should investigate.
How will they die? They will die because they don't have food to eat. They're not even in a proper.
So you are talking about the systemic issues.
No.
We're not looking.
Can I bring something else to your notice? We're talking about Boko Haram today because the first Boko Haram head was killed extrajudicially.
Thank you.
Now, if they had held on to him, they might have found out things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the more people you kill, the more suicide bombers you create. You're creating more problems.
They become
but to quickly answer what you have
Boko
said,
Haram people that they sorry, I want to add before you answer. The Boko Haram people that were arrested, I think was in Lokoja, that there was a jailbreak.
Yes.
What happened to them? Why did they break out of that jail? Because that jail was not even it wasn't even competent to keep them in the first place.
All right, let my guest speak.
Okay, see, what we are saying is entirely different from what is on ground right now. It is something that Mr. Buhari is going to attend to when it comes to issue of security. Sincerely, I sympathize with Nigerian police. With the situation they work.
The military generally.
The military. We heard that Mr. Buhari's certificate was missing. Suddenly, that certificate is out right now. It shows that in the past, you don't do such thing when it comes to military. Military is a way. I think I was on this program some time ago, and I tell you, from Atlanta to Houston, I was traveling from that Atlanta to Houston, and we have just about 10 U.S. military officers in the plane. Before we took off, the pilots announced their presence because they are coming from Iraq. Do you know that everybody stood up and we start clapping for them?
Thank you. Now you see,
our military, our police, have they made themselves? like that for us to respect them. They have not. You see, the point I'm saying for me as a security person, no. We need a system. We need a security system that will put themselves in a place that
we will respect them.
Will respect them.
You're not getting the point.
Listen to me.
It is the government that has placed a premium on their lives.
I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. Number one, the military, they're not well equipped. The police are not well taken care of. Fine. But where they're at right now, are they doing it rightly?
But also, wait. What with the people, Nigerian people not demanding results?
Exactly.
You've not killed anybody today. That Boko Haram keeps killing.
Let me take you. Thank you. One day I said it on my radio program. I said, how we'll be protesting about so many things. Are we ever, as a nation, protest about our security situation?
No, but can I say? I want to say something.
That's the point.
On Saturday, my husband and I were passing by a traffic light, and the traffic light didn't stop us, but we were caught up. A policeman jumped in front of us and was saying, you ran traffic light. I said, this is why people don't respect you policemen. You saw that the traffic was still green when we passed. Why don't you respect yourself and do the right thing?
That's right.
You just want to rip us off of money. And the man kept quiet and walked away because I faced him that he should respect himself. Now, they would respect themselves. I will respect them. That's the thing now.
You see, what happened is that,
you know, sir, you know how the Nigerian military is today. If you sign to join that for, you must be willing to serve and lay down your life. You cannot then be mutinous and say, they didn't take care of us. You know how the system was.
The point is that we have a whole lot of occupational military people today, occupational police people. But you are supposed to sign as a professional security person, either military or police. The point is, honestly, you have a point. The system itself is not helping matters.
That's what we want you to look at.
The system is not helping matters.
We agree with you.
We understand.
We agree with you.
So Amnesty International to need to look at the government and ask them, say, no, government, what have you put in place?
No.
It is an assignment.
The assignment is human rights.
Yes, it is an assignment. They can ask from a government of a nation to say that your security situation, the apparatus, the people doing it, what have you done?
Because it's beyond the military. Almost all our sectors are acting the same way. But we have to close
the solution. The first part is what Warrior said. I will investigate
and
solve the problem.
And that's what all of us have agreed on.
We have investigate.
On the right track. All right. On that note, we have to say thank you, sir, for coming. If I knew this thing was this hot, I wouldn't allow us. It's really on money, but this kind of discussion. All right. That's all we can take today. Don't forget to watch a repeat broadcast at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch previous episodes by going on YouTube/TV Entertainment and search for Your View. You can also catch us on Google Plus and search for TVC Entertainment. Thank you for watching. God bless you. See you tomorrow.